Are you or your child friends with their parents? A new poll found that more than half of college-age millennials consider their parents to be their best friends. And joining us this morning to talk more about it, is it healthy, is it not? Licensed mental health counselor DeAnn MacCloskey, great to see you.
Hi,
Thanks for coming back to visit us.
Thank you.
Okay, so this is interesting. Is there a certain age where it is appropriate to be best friends with your mom or dad?
I think it obviously depends on the person and the situation and how quickly we mature. And I think it should be a natural progression as we get into young adulthood and adulthood, that it could be a very positive benefit to have our parents as our best friend. But I wouldn't say that best friends with your child or your teenager is necessarily the best idea.
And why is that? What are some of the problems that go along with wanting to be friends with your 10-year-old?
Well, when they're that age, they need guidance and they need discipline and they need boundaries and direction. And that's hard to do if you are just solely their friend all the time. I'm a big believer in balance, especially with parenting. So we don't always want to be the disciplinarians, the authority, you have no voice, my say goes, but we also don't want to swing to the other side where, we're best friends and you can do whatever you want and just as long as so we have to find that balance in the middle where we help them and protect them and guide them, but that they also feel safe to come and talk with us. And then as they get older and get to 17, 18 years old, it kind of, as they get into their independence, they start to feel more like they can back away from us as their parents and find their own sense of self, and then that friendship can really grow from there.
How important is it that mom and dad are on the same page with this? Because what happens if mom's your best friend but dad's always the disciplinarian, right?
Exactly.
That's a challenge too.
And I think that's one of the biggest issues in parenting, and that's something that I see a lot in my office is mom wants something one way and dad wants something the other way. Or I've literally had girls tell me my mom is my best friend and I hate my dad. And it's sad because it starts with the parents. They need to decide, this is how we're going to parent. We're going to find that balance and we have to do this together. And it's okay if at times the child is closer to one or the other depending on the situation, but you do definitely want to be on the same page as your spouse, especially if you're co-parenting, and that makes it just even harder.
Well, sure, because what that ends up doing is it causes a huge conflict in the whole family, I imagine, right?
Oh, yeah. And then you find the child favoring one parent and not wanting to, usually the parent that's more fun and that's their best friend and not the one that's actually setting some rules in place, which kids and teenagers need rules. It's a part of life and it's a part of their development.
Okay, and how about for older parents who still want to baby their kids when they're like in their 40s? How about that concept?
That's a little hazier to some parents. It's funny because I'm definitely best friends with my parents now, and I would not have said that when I was a teenager by any means, but as much as they're my friends, they still are my parents, and they still give me that advice, or they don't tell me what to do so much anymore, but they love to suggest what is the better option. But I think as we become adults, we understand it more. We understand their point of view of like, okay, they actually know what they're talking about, but we also need some boundaries. I'm gonna help you out here, Amy.
I love it. DeAnn, how can our viewers find you?
Find us on lifecounselingsolutions.com.
All right, always great. It's good advice, especially for Mother's Day weekend.
Happy Mother's Day.
Good to see you, DeAnn. Thank you. All right.